For this example of how to annotate a drum chart, we're going to use Gospel by Carl Strommen. This is a perfect example of what kids get all the time, and well, I'm not doing this to pick on this chart. It's really hard to write a drum chart. It's never been standardized. There's a million ways to do it, but this is just a really solid example of what happens. So if you take a look, oops, this chart is essentially this one measure over and over again. Nothing changes until down here there's a little figure and then this A train ending. But other than that, the chart literally doesn't change. It's a lot to look at. There's very little on here in dynamics. There's very little on here in noting where you are in the chart. It just says a shuffle. This groove that's written right here, this is not a shuffle. I'm assuming this is supposed to be bass drum. In general, it's bass drum. Down here on the, if this were treble clef, like the F space. We don't know if this is cymbal. I mean, we know it's cymbal. We don't know if it's hi-hat or ride. Generally, snare drum is kind of on the C space if this was treble clef. So what this says is boom, 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 which is kind of a shuffle, but not really. We don't even know what kind of shuffle it is. So I hope you can see why we would need to annotate this and add some parts to this. There's not enough here for a young drummer to be successful, because if they just played this one measure over and over again, it's not appropriate. Plus they would get pretty bored, and if they're doing what it says forte until, that's it. It just says forte for the entire piece. So this is not a very effective chart. So we're going to talk about some things to do to fix this. So before going on, I really suggest that you listen to this tune. You can use there's a reference track on J.W. Pepper's website, which I believe I have indicated here on the website you're looking at. So please take a listen to that. Once you're done listening to that, go ahead and come on back. Hopefully you've listened to the tune. If you haven't, we're just going to take a little quick listen just for a second here. So this is very much a hard bop kind of work song, the preacher kind of thing here. So if you can, I would call this a third gear. This is a third gear kind of groove. Here's what that would look like. That's ting ting da ding gat da ding ding ba ding bat da ding ding da ding bat da ding ding ba ding bat. It's a very useful big band style groove. You can use it in a lot of contexts. So I would take your pencil or whatever you want to do, and just put a big number 3 there. I'll put all the annotations for the young drummers here in red. Number 3, and I think it would be really smart to start this on the hi-hat with it half open. All right, then if you want to put a circle around that, that's also a good idea just to help it stick out for your drummer when you're looking at the charts. So at 35, the solos come in. It cools down a little bit, so I'm going to suggest you go to second gear, so you're going to drop it back a gear, and then change the cymbal. So instead of going hi-hat, you're going to go to the left side ride. So you're going to be 2L. I'm also going to add the text here, change cymbal with each soloist, fill as well. So when it goes to the next soloist, they're going to go pa-ting, ting, 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 boom, ga-dum, do-bat, switch. So that each soloist gets a different kind of tonal color, plus it'll help keep the band all in the same line when the drummer's setting up. It helps everybody know right where we are. We're changing to the next soloist or the end of the chorus. All right, our next annotation is going to come down here at 54. This is where there's a sax soli. So it's important to note that because you want to get drummers out of the chart as much as possible. So anytime you can have English language in there, that really helps. So sax soli, and we're going to go back to groove 3 on the right hand cymbal. So 3R. And again, put a circle around that. The next little annotation here is just the word fill. There needs to be a fill setting up this break right here. And the fill can be something simple as ting ting ding ting ding ting buka do ba or ting 2 3 4 1 2 ba. Just needs to be something to help the band find that one. And the same thing right here, this clack on 4. There needs to be something happening on beat 4. So I was taught the terminology clack, which is just the stick on stick. So you put your snare, you stick on your snare drum, then you hit it with the other hand, clack. It's a very jazzy sound. So clack on 4. So you have this break 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, clack a ting, just to help set the band back up. You're going to continue that 3R again. So if you wanted to, you could just bring that over there. I'm going to leave it there. And then we're going to add another word here. We're going to put the word rough. R-U-F-F. Just hitting the bass drum and cymbal going thump with a ting, ting, ting. That's not what you want. That's a long sound. What you want is rat, a little drag there, a little rough. And I don't write the word drag because sometimes that's maybe encouraging the drummer not to slow down, not to drag. It get confusing. So rough is the rudiment. And then we're going to do a little setup here. So we're going to put one more setup on this. Setup or fill. Anytime there's a note off the beat, you want to set up this note. So ra, 2, 3, ga dong, ka on, dong, dong, gong, ga dong, dong. And I like to add things. This is the A train ending. This is in the jazz world. This is referred to as an A train ending. From Duke Ellington's Take the A Train. And anytime you can add that in there, A train ending. Oh boy. That'll help your drummer learn some of the terminology. That it's also, you're starting to develop these shortcuts, which will give you little language that you can use to tell the drummer, hey, A train ending. They know that's gong, ga-dung, dung, ga-dung, ga-dung, dung. That'll help them out. So there's our annotations. This, what we have here, is much more useful for a drummer. Play a shuffle, cymbal change with each soloist, changing textures, and some other things. Just this little bit of annotation will shape your tune and make it much more musical. So take the time, sit with your drummer, try to work this stuff out. It'll pay off. After you do this 3 or 4 times, you can have them sit with a recording and make their own annotations. And then all you have to do is change it during rehearsal.